What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It is Suhail, the Moroccan runner. Today I'll be bringing you a race recap for tune-up races that I have done leading up to the Boston Marathon. So the past few weeks, past few months really, I've done a couple of 5Ks, and most recently I did a half marathon. So these are all kind of fitness checks, and they're meant to really gauge where I'm at, give me a good training stimulus, and also give me an idea of what kind of fitness I'm in. So let's get right to it. The 5K race series that I started back in December is 4 races long, one for each month: December, January, February, and March. The December one I won't talk about today because that was part of the fall 2021 racing season recap. I'll probably link that somewhere. But the January race was pretty cold. I think it was like single digits, super windy. It was not ideal conditions, but I put in a good effort for it. I think I got in a 17:08. I think I worked. I think I talked about it in the previous video as well on like a weekly recap. But I used it just like as like a training run, and then I did a workout afterwards. And got that one done. I was happy with that. I got first place because I was kind of trying to compete for the series. The third 5K in the series was the February race. The race continued to live up to its name, Shiver by the River, and it was quite cold again. This time it was actually snowing and windy. That was the first time I raced in snowy conditions, which was pretty neat. It was something new. Not ideal. I wouldn't want to do it again, but it happened, and I guess it helped me with my mental toughness, or so I like to tell myself. I ran a 16:30 something, which I was pretty happy with, honestly. I think it was close to maximum, but I went out to run hard, and that was that. The fourth one of the series was the March edition, I think March 13th of the race series. It was cold again, but this time the road conditions weren't ideal, so that's one more variable to throw in the equation because I like to just have fun. There were snowy and icy patches on some of the turns, which made maneuvering them a little bit of a challenge, but I still came away with a 16:40 something. So I ended up winning the race series, and for that I got a neat medal. I think it's the blue one at the end there. I don't know if you can see it. And it also gave me a duffel bag, which is pretty neat. I didn't have one before. It's pretty useful. Very glad to have it. It's embroidered with the race logo and all that good stuff. So I was pleased. A week later was the half marathon, the Shamrock half marathon down in Virginia Beach, Virginia. It was a pretty cool destination race and getaway weekend, and got into town on Friday the 18th and got some sleep, got to relax, went to spectate the 8K the following day, walk around town a little bit, enjoy the beach, enjoy the sun and warmth. Got a little bit breezy later in that day, but I wasn't super worried because I knew it was going to calm down the next day, the day of the race on Sunday. But I got some Dairy Queen, got some pasta for carb loading, let's call it, and then went to sleep at an early hour. So Sunday race morning, I get up and head off from the hotel to the start line. That was my warm-up run. It was about 2 miles and change. Got to the starting line. I met up with some friends. We said hello real quick, good luck, make sure you drink water and all that good stuff. And then I lined up towards the front because I looked at previous year's results for this race, and I figured based on my estimated fitness, I should be in the top 25 or so. So I said, why not? We line up, and they send us off, and two people like break off way ahead, and then one big group that I'm a part of run after them, and that's kind of how the race shaped up for the first mile and a half or so. After the 1 mile mark, actually, somebody called out that the split was 5:32, I think, or something like that. I forget. And I remember thinking, oh god, this is a little speedy. I'm gonna back off. I don't want to go out too hard and blow up. And that pace was a little bit faster than I had intended on going out. So by like mile 2.5 to 3, I find myself running side by side with this one guy, and I eventually introduced myself and said, hey. And we're the only ones who are running tangents on the course. For some reason, everybody else is just sticking to the middle of the road as they wind around, which is not the smartest, but it is what it is. I mean, we were just running our own race. And we run together for a few miles. I think by mile 5 or so, I lose him at an aid station. I think I was gonna go towards the right. I thought they were giving out water there, but it was actually gels. I didn't want a gel, so I just kind of cut to the other side of the road. And by that time, I found that he's like way back. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna keep going. Bye, friend. So between then and the 10K mark, I kind of just did my own thing, jumping between groups a little bit, making some moves, running next to one person, then the next. And I went through the 10K mark in 35:08, which would have been an unofficial personal record at this point. And up ahead, I see a group of guys that I catch up to. So I get up there, and I'm like, all right, guys, like let's work together. We're gonna be faster together. Like, who's gonna go with me? One guy answers that call, and he just like comes right with me, and we take off. We go and do our thing. We chase after a couple different groups. We eventually settle in on this one group who was further up ahead, who was, I think there was like 4 or 5 people, and this woman on the front who was just like, she's putting in work. That was like awesome to see. I mean, I watched it from a while, from, you know, way back for a few miles, and she led it the whole time. Honestly, that was impressive. Catch up to this group, and I go towards the front to do some work of my own. Excuse me. I started blocking the wind for them. I was sitting on the right side. The wind was coming from the west, and we're heading south. And we're sitting there, we're doing our thing, we find a good rhythm. I feel like I was relaxing. Like this is about, I don't know, mile 8 or so approximately in a race. And I listen around me and everybody's breathing heavily, like they're struggling. And I wasn't, I was just relaxed. And that didn't feel right. I was like, I need to go. Like, I need to go now. This is my time to get moving. That's my cue to get moving. So don't wait around, don't sit here. Usually among runners, you'll hear the saying that the half marathon is a 10-mile race with a 10-mile warm-up with a 5K race at the end. In my case, it was more of like a 8-mile warm-up with a 5-mile race, which is just how the race shook out. I felt good, and I think I was very happy that I made the move when I did. And my legs had something to give still, and I kept on picking off people as I went. Eventually, there were spectators on the side of the roads that were giving me a lot of motivation, and they were very supportive. I was very thankful for that. And as we get closer to the finish line, we come down and then do like a left and then a right immediately, maybe another half mile or so. And then by the end of that, I saw my fiance and her sister cheering very loudly. I was very happy to see them right there. And then I turn a left and a right again onto the boardwalk for one more half mile to the finish. There's just one person up ahead that I was kind of slowly reeling in, and I got pretty close. I got to within something like 20 seconds, whereas I was pretty far out initially. But I look up at the clock as I approach the finish. I see 1:12, 30 something, 34, 35, 36. I'm like, oh God, yes, yes, yes. And it was incredible. I could not believe it. My best before this was a 1:18:30 something, my fastest half marathon. So very pleased that I crossed the line in 1:12:43. Huge confidence booster, big breakthrough for me, and a lot of motivation now going into Boston. During this race, I kind of realized that I was unfamiliar with how the marathon was supposed to feel. I think if I was a little bit more experienced in a half marathon, I would have realized maybe early on that pace that we went out at was actually sustainable. I did end up averaging faster than that pace over the course of the race. But that's what, you gotta race more to be more experienced at racing. So that was a good lesson. I was glad. I mean, it was a tune-up race. It wasn't really, the stakes weren't as high, but I was still happy with the effort, happy with the execution. And it's always good when you come out of a race knowing that you had a little bit more. It can be frustrating, but I think it's more exciting than it is frustrating because there's always gonna be more races. Hopefully, anyway. So what's next now? You know it, the Boston Marathon in less than 4 weeks at this point. I'm super excited, super thrilled. I cannot wait to get to race day. Right now I need to not be stupid. I need to chill out. I need to recover from this effort. My quads are pretty sore. I need to take it easy. Maybe put in a couple days of work, maybe a workout or two and a good long run, and then start to taper. Keep things simple. I have more to lose than I have to gain, so I just need to get to the starting line healthy and get my butt off to Hopkinton. And with that, thank you for watching. I appreciate you all as always. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and press the subscribe button and the bell and all that fun stuff. And until next time, take it easy.